Hey guys, I want to show you some great information. For those of you getting into the positions that we're opening, we've got painters and roofers we're starting with now. We've got the list. Zip code, city name, state abbreviation. I want to say this. It's amazing. It's huge. So our dispatchers already have deals covering 7,800 zip codes in the nation across all the states. Okay, a lot of states involved here, a lot of cities involved here, metro areas up the wazoo. So anyone who's buying in, you get 1 million people in your metro area. You're paying us a wholesale amount per month to build up projects that wind up paying you retail. How do you know we're doing a good job? You get total access to the tracking. And so you can watch the keywords rising and so on. Anything that doesn't rise during a month, we pause your campaign so you don't pay the next month until we get it up. And then you get paying again until you're at a point where you're making more than you're spending. And then you can take some of that extra money and you can put it into other positions if you want to grow your portfolio of different options. And the coolest thing is you're not doing it blind. You're going to see the portfolio that shows all the websites we have in the system that are available for this program. And you can see how they're doing live. And you can see the ones that are building their way up momentum wise. How many of you guys ever bought into stocks or foreign exchange? Do you have particular measurements you use to decide what to buy next? Volatility building up, volume building up, things like that. That's when you realize, oh, it's going to happen. It's going to break over. And what do? You race to be one of the first to get in the pack. Well, those of you who have metro areas with us already, those of you who are getting them now as we're just doing this whole release in the first place. In other words, it's February 2020. It's getting close to March. Those of you who are getting in now and you're getting your positions now, that's like preferred stock. The more those positions you have, the more you can move into the next bigger players as we continue to build this up. Now, how do you know any of this is getting built up? Let me just show you an example real quick. Then I have to go get a kid, actually. So, painters, tons of metro areas, 7,800 zip codes across the nation. Roofers, even bigger because roofers is a more common thing to reach for. So they already have deals covering 21,000 zip codes in the U.S. Okay. But make no mistake, painters and roofers, great. And anything we bring to them, guys, this is a dispatch center that works with everyone nationwide. If we bring them new deals in new metro areas, they will totally hook up the deals for us and work with us to get that to happen and get it into the system and then give us the phone numbers for that. They already said any number of 800 numbers we need or local numbers we need, anywhere we say we want them, they're going to hook us up for free. Just straight set us up so we can do our job because we're really good at what we do. Now, with that in mind, let me show you new information. All right. We have a client who does this kind of plastic cards here, right? That's what he does. And so this guy does well. He's printed millions of these cards. He does really well. And he's got printers, okay? Sometimes companies need to buy the printers that they can run the cards through because they have to like print first name and last name, ID numbers, or whatever employee numbers on the cards, right? So whatever it is people need. So those are the two sections of this business, the cards themselves and the printers that take care of the cards, okay? So having said that, this guy ordered 100 different websites, all totally different websites, okay? And they all have pages covering the content on the website, but the content's pretty thin, okay? Now, with this content being thin, here's the point I want to make. This, and this are all links that leave the website. They don't stay here. They go right to the different pages of the client's main website. So we have 100 websites where only the home page stays on the website. There are some other pages down here that stay on the website, but all the content's been pretty thin so far, okay? And all these links go away. They leave the website. Now, we all know Google doesn't think that's great, but we were never really able to measure how bad or good, how bad it is, okay, until now, all right? And so when you're thinking about the quality of backlinks, you have to start by saying, what if we did that? And by the way, the client demanded it. All right, this was a desire from the client. So phase one was making the websites the way the client wanted. That's what the client wanted. That's what we did. Phase two, get the client to realize, okay, for everything that happened and got you this far, now what we want to do from there is create more true content onto the websites and drop down menus, and that's going to raise the score of the websites. Here's what's amazing with that. I downloaded the list, backlinks from the system showing rank for all of their links. They got 1,768 total links now. Okay. You know what's funny about that? About 1,450 are ours. The guy spent years building up a couple hundred links. We came and just blasted about another 1,400 into the mix right away. Now, here's the interesting thing. The quality of the backlink. You know how we always talk about backlinks, quality versus quantity. The quality of the backlink probably goes from 1 to 20. This guy's got from 1 to 18. Okay. Now, most of his backlinks were between 1 and 3, the majority of them. Okay. 1 and 4, actually 1 and 5. Sorry, 1 and 5. Okay. So, for instance, this is 173 deep. Okay. For that guy, 173 backlinks that were 1 to 5 in quality. And then if you go up to about 11, in other words, past the middle into the higher end, then getting from, say, 11 to 18, just to make the point, 11 starts here, 1645, right? So it's only like 124 links there. So the guy had like, you know, the beginning stack and then the ending stack, like what, 300 links or something. And we added most of the rest. Now, he had a few in the middle. That's true. He's got like small stacks like Yellow Pages and so on. Okay, DMB, Business Directory, whatever these are. That we didn't do that. The guy had that. Right? There were a number in here. But the fact of the matter is, when we created the 100 websites and they all had this issue with the menus, I was afraid to see what the quality would be like when we finally got the chance to gauge it. You know what I found? And it blew my mind. All of those sites are somewhere between 6 and 9 for score. Brand new domains. Just a few months old. 6 and 9. The 9s, they're the ones that have lasted longer. They're the older domains because they're all like the same quality all the way across. So there is no explanation for why some rank higher than others. Not yet. Fact of the matter is we rearranged it so that 75 point at 25, like 3 per. 3 of each of the 75 point at 1 of the 25. And then all of them happen to backlink the main site too, which is really cool. It's a strong way to go. But having said that, so you could say the 9s are based on, you know, being in the top 25, and then the 8s, the 7s, and the 6s are in the lower 75. Yeah, fair. You could kind of say that. But another factor that has to do with the score is simply age. In other words, the websites will ripen and be worth more if they're set up as full-scale websites, not just backlinks. See these lower ends here? These are like a DMOZ entry, okay? Or a blog spot from 2011, archived pages, right? So yeah, they have low scores, a score of 1, okay? And websites that are active and the content's updated every so often, that's our point. Our secret sauce is being able to revive the links, right? So this is cool. It's extremely transparent. We can see what we're doing right and wrong, and we can fix things that are wrong. What do you think we should do to get the scores up? How do we make the 6s into 8s? How do we make the 7s into 9s? How do we make the 8s into 10s? We create more content and spread it through the websites, like in drop-down menus, for pages that stay on the websites. So a greater percentage of total content is on the website. And that's how you do it. You drive up the score of the backlinks, and we can do that automatically across 100 websites. Okay? So we're getting the one copywriting job done that covers the printers and the cards. One job. Once it's finished, we update all 100 websites. All the scores go up. And then we are able to refresh content. Let me show you what this looks like on a physical graph that you can see. We hooked up with Nightwatch. All of you who have positions with us, you're going to have access. You're going to see the graphs for your metro areas. So as well, you're going to see the graphs for your websites. And there are ways that you can look up data geographically so you can see how your metro areas are doing. Okay? We're hooking you up with full access to that so you can see what's going on. Having said that, we're developing a portfolio like a stock portfolio or a foreign exchange currencies portfolio. Okay? Not to say it's an investment. I'll throw that in as a disclaimer now. I can explain that later. But as you know, no guaranteed returns. It's just their positions. But all of you who are bought in, you can switch between positions as you watch the graphs and you develop your own secrets for how you measure the quality buildup. Like if you're looking at volatility, some guys look at this, some guys look at that. Of course, we'll explain all the markers and you can decide common sense what you want to get into, quicker. Nothing loses here. It's only a question of how much it gains. Okay? Things that look flatlined, you won't touch them with a 10-foot pole. No one will until they start moving, right? The guys who are buying into the flatliners are doing it to make them grow. Those of you that have the positions, no one can dislodge you. They cannot buy into positions that you are canvassing. If you're like, that's my area. That's my industry, my area, my metro. I've got it. You stay away. You stay away. No one can buy it. You have to release it back into the open marketplace for anyone else to get it, just like you would do with stocks. Okay? So the point is, canvas what you want, release what you want, grab other things you want. We're going to grow it. How fast can we grow it? We can do about 10 industries a day times 100 websites now. So it's like adding 10 graphs a day for the master websites in each of those sets so we can graph the results. That's really where we are now, and we're only helping our people understand how to do it because it's new, okay? But the fact of the matter is the designers are understanding how to produce that many images per hour. The guys who upload them to the websites through Varsheet Installer are learning how to do that. The guys who are producing the pages, the guys who are doing the SEO, the copywriters, all these people, we've been training. Well, they got to the point where they could finally do 50 websites from scratch today. And within a few more days of practice doing that, it's going to be up to about 1,000. Okay? It's huge. Those of you that want to buy in now through the end of this week, you get double metro areas. I was saying that for the last week, but we went to Boston and New York City, came back later, and we had a lot to do to settle some of the old works to make room for all of this new stuff we're doing. And we just now got into this. What's blowing my mind is how extremely easy it's going to be to take total control of the market. And so let me iterate. 1, we can produce faster than anyone. 2, we can do it for any combination of companies times metro areas in any industry we want. Really easily. 3, we can do it for dispatch centers that are straight going to pay us for everything we set up that gets phone calls going through. So if we do lots of metro areas times industries at the same time, we're going to win. Some of those are going to hit faster than others. Oh, great. Let's double up, triple up on whatever's working. And that produces all these portfolios, and you guys can come and buy into them. So as you guys get into the monthlies where you're paying us per month to make more from everyone doing their jobs, the reason you're doing that is because you're not thinking about it. You're just providing the money for everyone else to do the work. Okay? That way they can work. That way we can rise. And then if you say, I want to switch to another position later, anything that opens up. How do you know what to consider? Well, which do you think you would choose first, geography or industry, if some of the charts are going up and some are flatline? Industry. Because some of the industries are going to rise faster. In other words, that's where we figured out the sweet spot. Industry first, then geography. So wherever we've got a better message in the industry than everyone else, great, because there are tons of metro areas in that industry. Everyone pouring into it, Every million people counts. There's 300 million people in the U.S., so 300 metro areas that you want to pour your money into and earn from. And you'll all earn from it. House painting costs about the same nationwide. Bigger house, bigger money. Smaller house, smaller money. But it's kind of the same idea. Same with roofing. Roofing kind of costs the same nationwide. Bigger roof, more money. Smaller roof, less money. But it's kind of the same nationwide. So it doesn't really matter at all which metro area you get, as long as you have enough people in your metro area. Okay? That's it. So this is freaking cool. You guys want to get in, double up, triple up, get all the metro areas going that you can, and let us just do our job. Okay? Everything we do to improve the score drives everything up in the air, and we can do it in any combination. Somebody asked me, what about getting sandbox? You can get out of the sandbox in a month if you get into it, and we figure that out. So the way we do that is take backlinks that all we're pointing at a website and take some of them and redirect them to some of the other websites. Like I said, we got 100 of these that are specific to a particular client. Okay? Yeah. And if we took some of the backlinks we had aimed at the client and just aim them through these 100, we can get all 100 to rise. So we can still get that guy's phone number to ring. Okay? Even if it's through lots of websites instead of one. Right? Plenty of ways to skin the cat. We can now make all the websites we want that are main websites and all the backlinking websites we want to backlink them to drive them up nationwide. Okay, I'm going to have to run off. I want to explain a lot of charts. I would love to explain everything to you. Take a look at this. This is that client, right? We did the work back here and threw on tracking later, and we watched Google's dance, and then they started to rank it. Now, why did it start to drop? Because as we ranked, it drove the competitors nuts. They were losing rank themselves because we were taking their places. You know, if you go up to position 8, whoever was there drops to 9. If you go up to position 7, whoever was there drops to 8, and so on, right? Well, these guys are going to have to fight back. In the beginning, not too hard for them to do. They're well established. They've been around. They can start fighting back. Won't take long for us to fight back ourselves, and then we'll recover. Why didn't we do it yet? We are waiting to do one thing first. I was waiting for the client to see this and then this and realize from my explanation what it meant. The client said, now I understand. I understand why I rose, and I understand why I fell. And I realized that we have too many links leaving the website, not enough links that stay on the website with more content. So the guy said, I am going to get you 3,000 words of content for the cards to make it a bunch of pages for the website, you know, topic based. And then another 3,000 words of content for the printers that you can make into a few pages also for the websites. So now we're going to redo all those websites, and we're going to have at least 6,500. It's going to be like 7,000 words of content in every single website. That's crazy. So now each month we hit the refresh button and all those pages get rewritten through all those sites. Lots of data gets updated, and Google goes, wow, there are humans here. You know what happens to this graph? It just starts to shoot up and keep shooting up, because none of this guy's competitors have backlinks, old or new, that get refreshed consistently. So they lose quality, ours don't. What do I mean by lose quality? These links back here from 2011 and stuff have a score of 1. Did they always have a score of 1? No, 2011 probably had a score of 8. It's a score of 1 now. What do you think it means? It means no one touched that thing. Okay? No one updated the content on that link. So it was a test. And by now, it's really a waste of time. Right? No one's going to read that. So it's got a really low score. They could read it. That's why it has a score at all. Okay? The stuff that's up here is because it's new and fresh. As long as we keep refreshing it, it's great. So how do we beat the competitors? We create live websites with self-updating content over the course of time. And the longer it ages, the greater it becomes, and the more this client just keeps rising above all the competitors, and that's the whole point. So for those of you who have your own things you want to promote, get into our project. For those of you who don't, you want to just join what we're doing, get into that. So let me show you real quick. Website-installer.com, right? That's a dash. Go there. Hit professional services up here in the menu. This explains what's going on, and it's cool. All right? And when you scroll down, you've got the options to participate. 10 new referral sites added monthly for anything you want promoted. Okay, $125 a month. We'll do all the work for the keywords. We'll do all the work for the promotions. We've got the servers. We've got the domain names. We've got the websites. We have the software to upload. We can create all the pages for you. We do all the images. And we have dispatch centers for those of you that want the dispatch center to take care of things, right? If you don't know what you want marketed, you want us to choose for you, just put choose for me. Okay? If you know what you want marketed, like a super affiliate project, put something in there so we know what you're aiming for. Quick note, super affiliate projects cost $1,250 one time. Okay? So if you're trying to pay for this to get your own big super affiliate project, it would take you 10 months of payments just to get the website before we do the backlinking. So it's not a good idea unless you had to, okay? But you could start up here and we'll make your super affiliate project for you. And then with your next payment, you get 100 new referral websites added spread across 10 servers. That's huge. That's like this whole idea of all these 100 sites, right? Literally, that's the point, okay? It's huge. And it means that you're going to rise, you're going to make a lot of money. Now, that's what that's all about. Some people say, can I start big for a month or two and then drop it down to something more my maintenance level capability? And the answer is, of course. You can always start and stop these things in anytime you want. And you can do multiple for different projects. It's like portfolio, right? As you look through the portfolio, as these things come live, okay, and you're starting to see the graphs you want to get into, you can start more than one subscription for these at the different levels. What's the difference between going low and going high? Well, if you have things that are pretty niche and they're local, low is enough to rank quickly. If it's niche and local but kind of bigger cities, mid-sized towns, cities, you'll probably want to go here. If it's niche and local but, larger towns, you probably want to go here. If it's less niche, if it's a lot more mainstream but it's still small town, you want to go here. If it's mainstream mid-town, you want to go here. If it's mainstream big town, you want to go here. That's the reality check. Just think that way. Now, as you get the graphs to go up where you want them to go, and you're starting to make the money you want to make, and you're reaching some kind of capacity, you can flip to maintenance mode. Maintenance mode is just $1 per website per month. Okay? So, real quick, above the subscription plans, you can read how this works. Very simple language, not very long. Okay? Explains the whole set of simple rules. Okay? Beyond that, everything that's in here, everything that you want to be able to do, you're in our private club. You get to switch your holdings. It's like preferred stock. Doesn't really matter where you come in. Just follow the trail. By you coming in, we're pushing on all these industries. We're working on your behalf on all these things. And whatever's working best, you can switch to it. Okay? That's the coolness of what we're building here. It's like the stock market. It's like foreign exchange. But it's really purchasing positions of rank-driven profit centers for websites themselves. You are paying for websites to be developed in metro areas to outrank other websites. And as they get traffic and as that converts into paid leads, you get paid retail. So you're paying wholesale to let us build. We want wholesale, not retail. We want to be in the wholesale business, like GM. GM is a multi-billion-dollar company that did what? Instead of paying for all the dealerships across the nation, they opened it and said, hey, whoever's going to afford your own dealerships, one or more, okay, we'll back you in every possible way. You just put the money up and we'll do all the work to get you profitable. All you have to do is make sure your employees show up on time and that they care to make money. We'll do everything else to make it work for you. Huge, right? GM's branding, GM's plans, GM's control systems, whatever it is, GM's warranty, everything. GM's logo, GM's everything handed to the dealerships nationwide. Well, we have everyone doing everything, so you do nothing. You don't need to get a server that's $1,500 a year. You don't need to get domain names. It's like $10 per domain per year. You don't have to buy software for websites. You don't have to decide what the images should be. You don't have to pay for SSLs. You don't have to find deals with roofers around the nation or house painters around the nation. You don't have to monitor the phone calls. You don't have to pay for the forwarding phone numbers by the month. You don't have to pay for the minutes that get generated. You don't have to send the invoices to the clients. You don't have to run collections for the guys who are not paying. And you don't have to run the sales team to find replacements for the guys who did not pay. So you can keep going. You do nothing. What do? You give us the ability to build so that we do all of that. So this is you paying wholesale so that you make retail back. Retail can be 3, 4, or 5 times as much as you're paying now. Do you realize what that means if you set up multiple income streams? What if this pays you 3 times back? Then you can use twice of it to get this. And then what if that's paying you 3 times back? You can use twice of it to get that, right? Build up what you want to build up. Okay? Anything and everything. And if you really don't know what you want to get, put choose for me. A lot of guys say, how long does it take to make money? The answer is, how long does it take for you to hit the front page and start rising? So the reason you're paying is to go from position 40 to position 30 to position 18 to position 11 to position 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You just keep paying and we keep building and you keep rising. Okay? Now you will do ups and downs, right? Especially in the early days, and that's exactly because when you start building, your competitors don't want to lie down and die. They're going to fight back. But the fact that we can go so large, so cost efficiently is literally better than anyone in the nation. So it guarantees your rise. Having said that, we do have a plan that says this. Any month that passes that we have not made an improvement, right? We can't tell how much of an improvement each month brings, but there should be a clear improvement. An average improvement, a no kidding improvement. And if you're not getting that in a given month, we'll pause your campaign so you don't pay the next month, right? That means we don't charge you again until we make that improvement happen. Then you're back on to paid, okay? And the goal is to get to the front page, and it will happen. And when you're there, you start making retail. And as you make the retail, you've got extra money. You're going to wind up making more than you spent, is the whole thing. Now, what if some of the holdings, like the ones you get, don't wind up making that? And you're like, I'm kind of out of money. Maybe you're out, but you're in the club to the degree that you're paying, which means what? You can switch. So yeah, you have access to the portfolio with everything that we're building. All the projects we're building for you. Projects we're building for everyone paying in their own metro areas. Most people are paying for how many metro areas? 1 to 10, maybe 20. Like if they make 2 separate 1250s a month and they're doing them in parallel, saying choose for me both times with their email both times, they're paying $2,500 a month and they're getting 200 referral websites pointing in. If they're saying choose for me, they're getting 20 metro areas. And if we're choosing for them, we're going to spread that portfolio-wise. Okay? Whatever works best as we build this up. We have to get from this, which is simple. We rose, like I said, we dropped. The guy's like, I get it. I need content. He provided it. We're going to do the copywriting, get it into his websites, and that will drive this back up, and it will start to go straight up, because that's all we had to do. His websites just need more content, and then we refresh it every month. The guy will get it. It'll go up. We're learning by doing so many projects at once and learning from the results. And as you guys are providing the wholesale payments to us, we're the wholesalers. You're doing this so you can earn retail on top of it. You're paying $125 a month so you can make $500 a month. You're paying $250 a month so you can make $800 a month. You're paying $500 a month so you can make $1,200 a month, right? And so on. And the bigger you go, as you can imagine, the bigger the spread gets to be really, really fast. What if you're paying $1,250 a month, and after the first 3 months, you start making $7,500 a month? Maybe you did not make anything for the first 3 months. In the 4th month, all the money came back. In the 5th month, you're at double the money. At the 6th month, you're at triple the money. Now, if you could make triple your money in 6 months, isn't that better than any stock you ever invested in? Right? And this is going to keep going up, and you can switch your portfolio holdings. Okay, that's like preferred stock status. Those of you who are on the monthlies, you're preferred members. We're going to tell you, we're going to give you access to the portfolio. No one else gets access to the portfolio. You cannot see what's happening inside this portfolio unless you're in. Okay, you got to be at least in. You got to be at least here to get eyes in the club on this for everything we're doing. That way you can decide where you want to go with your holdings and which extra holdings you want to get. Because say this chart takes off like crazy and it's for, who knows what it's for, woodworking or remodeling or chiropractor. You know what you can do? You could say, I'm going to go here with your email and say chiropractors through Dispatch Center. Not my own, you know, yours, right? The Dispatch Center chiropractors. Bam. You get it? So be in the club, see what's going on, write on what you own, and be able to switch at the drop of a hat. Because as we build all these projects based on what you guys are paying for, we will get winners. And we have room metro area wide, nationwide, for all of you in the winners that we create. You know how many winners we're going to have? Probably 25 times all those metro areas. That's almost 400 metro areas times 25. That's like 10,000 positions, okay? That would be 1,000 of these. We have room for all of you right now who are paying attention to everything that we've been doing. And you're lucky if you're here because we've been so underground, no one knows this exists. The few people who hear about it here and there are really amazed and they want in hard. No one else even knows this is happening. So be in the club and watch what's going on. And we're going to roll you into the winners. Okay, that's it. For those of you who are getting in before Sunday, get in with every position you can afford that you just know you can keep up and let us grow, because you'll get tracking access. You'll see what your projects are doing. But the reason you're getting in with everything you can, you get double the metro areas. Okay? So as long as you're in, you stay on double the metro areas. And as we keep growing it, you're going to be able to switch those doubles anywhere you want in the portfolio. All right. I hope you find it interesting. It's really fascinating. I cannot believe we're here, but we are. And yeah, by the end of this week, we're going to be able to do so much you won't believe it. So get in the club. All right.